are coming to you from Camelback Ranch, Glendale, where this afternoon WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's a new skipper, Robin Ventura, Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Dale Swain's crosstown rival, Chicago Cubs. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson, along with Steve Stone, as we get set to bring you White Sox action from Arizona on just a beautiful afternoon for baseball. And Stoney, first of all, for the fourth straight year, buddy, it's great to be with you.
Nice to be with you, too. And it's nice to have baseball back because the weather is gorgeous. We won yesterday for the first time. That's always nice. And you've got two new skippers, two basically new teams trying to make up for last year. And let's see if they can do it.
All right, Chris Sale on the bump for our guys today against Travis Wood. So sit back, relax, and strap it down because White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball is brought to you by Miller Lite Vortex Bottle, Taste Greatness, and by Ford, proud sponsor of your Chicago White Sox and proud of our Chicago-built Ford Explorer. Check it out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to Camelback Ranch of Glendale as the White Sox taking on the Cubs today. Cubs at 2-3. The Sox 1-3 with a big win yesterday over the Texas Rangers. Obviously, a lot of supporters on both teams. And let's take a look at how the Cubs are going to line them up under Dale Swain. Designated hitter Alfonso Soriano, then Darwin Barney hitting second, playing second. Jeff Baker in right field. Brian LaHare at first. Marlon Byrd in center field. Joe Mather in left. Steve Clevenger behind the plate. Junior Lake is at shortstop, and Edgar Gonzalez is at third base. The defense and how they'll line up behind Chris Sale. Left to right, Viciedo. Diaz in center field this year with Alex Rios in right. In the infield, pretty solid. Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko. A.J. Pierzynski gets a nod behind the plate, and converted bullpensman Chris Sale on the hill today. There you look at the numbers last year. He was a starting pitcher until the Sox put him in the bullpen. He's very happy to be back in the rotation. He knows he's going to use his changeup a whole lot more, and right now they're just working on some sort of type of pattern for him to get as a starting pitcher. He loves the fact that he's getting this opportunity, and look for him to have a pretty big year. The umpires. Alan Porter behind the plate, and on the bases, Chris Guccione, John Tampain, and Brian Knight. You couldn't ask for a better day. They'll take a look at the weather. 75 degrees. The wind, no factor. Not a cloud in the sky here in beautiful Glendale. It's been just a gorgeous 2.5 months in Arizona, and when you have great weather, that means that both teams can get in all of their work, including Jake Peavy, who I talked to before the game. Very happy with his first time out. Numbers don't look great, but he said he was working on his fastball location. That's all you have to ask for is stay healthy, get your work in, and when you know you're going to be one of the starting pitchers, that's what spring training is all about. So as the White Sox throw the ball around the infield, we're ready for our first broadcast on WGN, and we're ready for baseball 2012. I turn it over to my partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball. As Alfonso Soriano gets ready to tee it up against Chris Sale. Chris, 22-year-old southpaw, 6'6", 180 pounds, a very tall, slender man who is very talented. And the first pitch of the ball game. Ball hit hard. Vicieto's not going to be able to get it. So Soriano now 6 for 9 this spring to go along with 3 homers.
First ball fastball, and from knee to mid-thigh, Soriano is still as good as anybody. And if he can guess first ball fastball, that's what he does with it. Not an easy place to play the outfield here in Arizona.
So here's Darwin Barney. He's 4 for 8 on the spring. In fact, the Cubs come in hitting at .339 as a team. In this, their 6th game. As Steve told you, they are 2-3 on the spring. And here at beautiful Camelback Ranch, Glendale, 345 down the lines, 380 in the gaps, and 410 straightaway center. There's a strike. And the count evens at 1.
Barney doesn't have a whole lot of power. He is a good hitter. But his job here is to hit the ball to the right side. So let's see if he gets that job done by poking it at Beckham and Konerko.
Barney last year, 276 hitter, a couple of homers. He's driven in 43 in 2011, and there's a line drive foul ball. And boy, is it great to be back seeing baseball again. Wow.
It is that. You just have to hope that this team, which is pretty close to the opening day lineup where you would assume for the Sox, just stays healthy and starts the season on a high note.
Outfield well around to the right. They'll get the job done and more. So he just inside outs it as Yazda makes the first mistake of the ball game by overthrowing the cutoff man. So Barney moves into second, and it's 1-0 Cubs. And that's not going to please Robin Ventura. They've been working very, very hard on the fundamentals. And you're not going to throw Soriano out on that little soft chopper through the middle.
Now, the first thing that Diaz has to think about is keeping the double play in order. You concede the run because you got no chance. Not on a ball hit that softly. And the fact that he airmailed Konerko makes it real easy for Barney when you read the angle of the throw to take off and head to second.
Here's Baker. Takes that high and wide. And it's just those mistakes that we just mentioned that the Sox have been working very hard on. The fundamentals, baseball 101. Hit the cutoff man. They worked on it 3 times last week, early in the morning. Two and 0 the count. All it does is just put your pitcher in a jam and makes every pitch a little more stressful. As he gets some help right there. Baker chasing a high heater.
Chris Sale threw very hard out of the bullpen, realizes as a starting pitcher that he's not going to have to use that big fastball, especially early in the game. Now, he can run it up there in the mid to upper 90s. 96, 97 is pretty easy for him, sometimes 98.
He hit 100 a couple of times last year out of that pen.
But he just told me before the game, he said he knows that he didn't have to reach back early, because if he reaches back early, not going to have much late.
Here you go. Well, that's what we were just discussing, why it makes those pitchers work harder when you make a mistake and overthrow the cutoff man.
Through 3 high fastballs thrown by Baker.
Ryan LaHare Had a big year in AAA. 331, 38 homers, 109 knocked in last season. He's 2 for 8 on the spring.
9 years in the minor leagues and now getting an opportunity to establish the fact that he can hit major league pitching and probably their starting first baseman.
Takes first pitch strike. Center fielder Marlon Byrd on deck.
Mayor's going to have his work cut out for him if Chris Sale decides to use that slider.
Especially on 0-2-1-2. Long look. Now time is called by LaHare. Yeah, that slider. Joe Mauer can attest to that.
It's a pretty good one. We're going to see a lot more change-ups this season from Chris.
I think we're going to probably be seeing a lot more change-ups from most of our guys than we've seen in the past. Interesting spring so far. It's the contrast between Ozzie, of course, and Robin. Ozzie had his personality, his style. Robin's got his style. And they are very similar in content, but not in delivery. Get over there, probably will take it himself, and this out number 2.
This is a coaching staff where half the coaching staff is back from last year, and the other half of the coaching staff is new. And I think it's like new players coming to a team. I mean, they want to establish the fact that they work hard, and they do, and that they're going to put their imprint on this particular team. And they've got something to prove also, because it's, Joe McEwing at third base, a former major league player. You got Mark Parent, who's the bench coach, who was a Double-A manager. Jeff Manto comes up from the minor leagues as a new hitting coach. So they want to show these guys that they're pretty good at what they do.
Well, the one to break in easiest on the team, so to speak, would be Jeff Manto, because those guys are very familiar with him down in Charlotte, Birmingham. He was the minor league hitting coordinator. As Bird, last year a 276 hitter, 9 homers, 35 knocked in, 2 for 8 on the spring. 34-year-old veteran. He's a good player. Had some injuries last season. Good pitch, ate him up, fouls it off. And the count 1-2.
It looked like he trimmed down a little bit last year. Got a bit heavy. They list him at 245. That's pretty big at just under 6 feet tall.
2-2 the count.
I stopped by AJ. When Sale throws that slider in the dirt, it's not an easy pitch to block. And you got a man 90 feet away representing the second run.
Checks it up. The count goes full to Bird. Joe Mather on deck. Outfield playing short, straight up. Hard one hopper. Alexei sucks it up, pegs him out, and that'll retire the side. They come up with a run after happening in play as the Cubs, one of the good guys coming back.
take a look at how Robin Ventura is going to line up his Sox today. It's going to be Alejandro Diaz leading off, then AJ hitting second with Rios, Konerko, and Dunn in the middle. Lexi Ramirez at shortstop, and Viciedo, Morel, and Beckham round out the lineup. The defense for Dale Swain, Mather, Bird, and Baker left to right, Gonzalez, Lake, Varney, and LaHare. Steve Clevenger behind the plate, and soft tossing Travis Wood on the hill, acquired from Cincinnati. There you look at the numbers last year. Not great. Opponent's batting average of .293, not overly impressive, but very much a hitter's park in Cincinnati.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as first pitch misses to Alejandro Diaz, who really impressed everybody last season, including in spring training and when they called him up from Charlotte. He wound up hitting .329, 4 homers, 23 knocked in. He had 11 doubles, 3 triples, and 12 stolen bases in that short period.
And overall, I like the fact that he's playing center field because it moves Rios to right where he is more comfortable. And I think he's going to have a good year now that he's in a spot where he's comfortable.
Oh, bobble. Safe. Ball gets away now. So it'll be a base hit and an error.
It's one thing to miss the baseball. Once you've done that, you're not going to get a left-handed burner going up the line, and that's where Wood made his mistake. You miss the ball, well, concede first base, but then don't toss it in the outfield because now you get a runner in scoring position.
And here's AJ. AJ 1 for 5 on the spring. Last year, finished up strong, hit .287. And he has looked good so far this spring. I think going through his sequence of signs.
I think the 2 spot in the batting order is a good spot for him because he does make contact and he can move the runners along. And he won't be asked to drive in all that many runs from the 2 spot.
There's a base hit. So Diaz now is going to be held at third. Runners at the corners, nobody out. And right now, let's check out our picks to click for the first time in 2012. Skip Ellison, our director to crew. Well, they went with the Georgia boys, Georgia Bulldog Gordon Beckham, Stone Ponies, going Viciedo, and the Hawthorne boys down in Granger, Indiana. Nico and Alexander now. We're going to go with Brent Morel. So here's Alex. Rios 1 for 5 on the spring. Last year, a tough season for him. .227, 13 homers and just 44 knocked in. This is with that pitch going away, and that's one reason we have, one of the reasons I should say, that we have hope to be optimistic. Upside for Rios, for Beckham, for Dunn, for Peavy.
Well, the middle of the lineup, and you know that Pauly's going to have a big year, but with Rios and Dunn, if they come back to just adequate numbers or average or a little above average numbers, it's going to put a lot more runs on the board, especially with Beckham taking that step forward, which I think he will, and Morel, who is having a great spring and looks terrific. Jeff Manto thinks the world of him, and I know you do too, Hawk.
I think Jeff's going to have Brent's, I should say, is going to have, according to Jeff, a big season. And unless something happens that he gets hurt or injured this spring, I think Morel's going to be my pick to click for 2012. He is absolutely coming along. He finished up very strong in September. He had to have himself a good winter. But in evaluating our club right now, early this spring, I like our infielders. We were talking prior to the games. That ball hit hard in the center field. Stretch. Right up against the fence. So Diaz will tag a score, and this game is tied at 1.
Rios hits this one very hard to the deepest recesses of the ballpark. Bird goes back as far as he can go. It's 410 to straightaway center field. Comes up with it with about 2 steps to spare.
But the infield is a good one. And you've got Konerko, Beckham, Ramirez, and Rell. That's a good, solid infield. Our outfield play is going to be much improved over last season as Pauly pops that one up into left. Hits him on the fist. And that is out number 2. Last year, as you and I discussed throughout the course of the season, our outfield play was nothing short of almost disastrous.
No, I think it's going to be a whole lot better now.
Yeah, a ton better.
Viciedo is making the transition. They taught him from third base how to play right field. Now, in order to get playing time, he shifts over to left, and what he said was, I just want to get in at bat in the lineup every day. Put me in the lineup every day. I'll play wherever.
Here's Big Adam, takes ball 1. Well, last year we had entirely too many guys overthrowing a cutoff man on a consistent basis. We had entirely too many guys going from first to third who shouldn't have been going from first to third. And you know, as a pitcher, Steve, how that'll just tear you up after a while.
Well, you got a great arm in left field. I think Diaza is going to be able to go get the ball. Now, Rios is not going to have a normal right fielder's arm, but I think he'll be more comfortable out there. So that's all you have to do. Just hit the cutoff man consistently.
Breaking ball strike. 1-2 the count.
Adam hit a homer and a double yesterday.
4 big ribbies, 3-run homer and an RBI double. Takes it up.
He says he feels great. Been taking a lot of extra batting practice with Jeff Manto.
That ball hit into left field. Mather back on the track in front of the fence, hauls it in. The Sox come up with a run, and after one, tied at 1.
I have the right to a guarantee that my rate is the lowest on the web. Do I ask for too much?
Kinda. Sometimes.
One tie here in the top of the second. And a reminder, you can organize a group outing by purchasing a block of 20 or more tickets or upgrade to a patio party, diamond suite, or one of our other great party areas. Group outings are still available for the BP Crosstown Cup Series against the Cubs at U.S. Cellular Field. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Joe Mather. First pitch, breaking ball strike. What are you talking about? Out in that area, got to send out a huge happy birthday to Bobby Bertucci.
They tell me in the clubhouse that he's 73 today.
He went by me.
That's unbelievable. Boy,
he looks great.
He looks great for 73.
Man, I'm telling you, wow.
Yeah. Even Bob Vorwell looks surprised at Bobby's age.
We're both going to get black eyes when we get back to the house. Bobby is 39 and holding. Happy birthday, Bertucci. Give the old pink flamingo a hug for us, too. Bruno. The 1-2 pitch. Ate him up. Alexi.
Not many spots on this Cub team that really are up for competition, but Mather in a backup role is one of those guys that's being considered for a role on the bench. Actually, neither of these teams have extensive spots open.
Well, Mather's 4 for 8 on the spring. So he's trying to do what he can do to get that roster spot. And a shot of Dale Swaim. And we wish the best to Dale. He's a nice person and a good baseball man. And there's 2 out. Clevenger, 25-year-old receiver, is gone.
He's bidding for a backup role. That backup catching job is open, and the advantage he has is swings a bat left-handed. And his competition swings a bat right-handed. With their number 1 catcher, Giovanni Soto, as a right-hander.
Here's Junior Lake. And Cub coaching staff this year: Mike Borzello, Chris Bonzio, Franklin Font, Rudy Jaramillo, Pat Listache, Dave McKay, Jamie Quirk, and Lester Strode.
Seems strange to see Dave McKay and not see Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa, because he spent a long time with those fellas.
And he was a terrific first base coach for many, many years. And that people don't understand that in today's game of baseball, every coaching position is huge.
Well, they got a good one in Dave McKay.
I remember back in 1983, Davey Nelson was the first base coach. And that was a team. We won 99 games that season, won the division by 20. And one of the reasons was they beat more plays into second base to extend the innings than any team I have ever seen to this day. And there's ball 4. So the 2-out walk. Last year, Junior Lake had 19 stolen bases. And here's Edgar Gonzalez. Well, we have a moment, a big White Sox shout out to 100 Southside White Sox fans from St. Xavier University, back for the 2nd consecutive year and enjoying today's game on the Legends deck at first base. There's the throw. And a little high underneath the tag, so Lake steals second.
Chris was a little deliberate getting the ball, and the throw up. Lake under. He got a running start, which is something you never want to allow a hitter to do, a base runner to do in this case.
Breaking ball strike.
Sure, Don Cooper is going to be talking with Chris Sale about that. Make sure that the runner is stationary when you deliver the baseball. Otherwise, too difficult for the catcher to throw anybody out, whoever is catching.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's another thing Robin has really been working hard on this spring. Pitchers holding the ball a little longer. Viciedo way back. And that's out of here. So Gonzalez goes deep. That's his first home of the spring, and it's a 3-1 Cub lead. 2-out walk.
Towering fly ball, and in Arizona, these normally go out of the ballpark. not much wind today, but ball carries a little bit better here than it will up north. Had a pretty good idea that one was going out of the yard when he hit it. Preciado just drifts back, but nothing he can do.
Getting back to pitchers trying to help out against the stolen bases, and also that the shortstop and the second baseman both take the throws in position rather than coming up and then going back with a swipe tag. Two and two. Robin's having an interesting schedule here. He gets here about 5:30 in the morning.
Well, I know he's the last one off the field.
And he's the last one off the field. He leaves around 5 o'clock. As strikes out Soriano, but a 2-run homer. The 2-out 2-run homer. It is 3-1 Cubs. Alexei will lead it off. Alexei 2 for 5 on the spring, takes it up high. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Sox here in the bottom of the second inning if you're just tuning in. Ball hit hard, sucked up. Late. 1 down.
Cubs have 5 pitchers for 2 spots in that starting rotation, and so they're the battle. Paul Mahalan is going to start. They gave him a good deal of money. The left-hander formerly with Pittsburgh. Of course, Dempster and Garza both assured of starting spots, and then it'll come down to competition. Just looked terrific in the spring. Everybody's raving about him, and if he wins a spot, then there'll be 4 guys for 1 spot.
Well, very, very impressed with the arm of Jeff Samardzija.
Oh, there's no doubt. When that sinker's working and the slider has some tilt to it, he can be pretty tough. There's a new pitching coach, Chris Bosio.
Well, what a competitor he was.
Didn't mind knocking you down on occasion either.
No, we did not. I've seen Chris go out there against us with absolutely nothing and win a ball game against a good hitting White Sox team when he was with the Brew Crew.
He just reminded me a lot of Pete Vukovich. Same kind of personality.
Tank 1 for 6 on the spring. And he's going to have a birthday tomorrow.
He's getting old. How old is he going to be? Yeah. Got some years on him.
2 down. I'm talking about birthdays. Another one. Viskauskas down in Florida, 21 years old. So that'll bring up Brent Morrell. Brent, 2 for 5. Last year finished up very strong in the month of September. On the season, hit .245, 10 homers, and drove in 41. Turn that one over. And the count 2-0. Hit hard up the middle. Playing him perfectly is Barney. 2-3 in the third, trailing by 2. One pitch, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Cubs lead it 3-1, and now joining us down in that dugout for the first time on spring training is our new skipper, Robin Ventura. Robin, welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. How you guys doing?
We're doing just fine. And we were just talking last inning about how you have worked very hard already this spring with that 5:30 in the morning schedule, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, leaving on cutoffs, hitting the cutoff man, which we missed in the first inning. And
that's already been handled. It's already been addressed.
I figured that. And also pitchers trying to help out whoever's behind that plate.
Yeah, and you know that's the stuff we're trying to get done in spring training, and you know we have a month here, and we just want to make sure we got it all right by the time we go north.
Robin, has there been anything that, well, you've seen almost everything you see in baseball, but has there been anything unexpected for you in your new seat?
I don't know if it's unexpected, but you know the scheduling of it's you know, making sure everybody gets their at bats and playing time, and we got a lot of guys in camp, and you want to give guys a shot too. That you know we have a few open spots, and you want to make sure that you see what you need to see and give them ample opportunities to, you know, either prove themselves or eliminate themselves.
And Robin, what is Mark Parent going to mean to you? I know you're very familiar with him. He's going to be your bench coach. And how valuable is he going to be to you?
Well, he's been very valuable so far. I mean, as far as this scheduling, what we're doing, and I think everybody, you know, has a different role. But you know, for him, I'm comfortable with him doing pitch outs, and he understands that as being a former catcher, and I'm very comfortable with him doing that. So there's things that I think that I felt unsure of, that I have, coaches that will help me, that make me more confident in what we're all doing.
Well, that was a quick 1, 2, 3. Robin, thanks for the time. We'll be talking to you throughout the spring, buddy.
All right.
Robin
See you later.
Ventura. First pitch to Gordon Beckham here in the bottom of the third. 2-run homer by Edgar Gonzalez. Last inning, the difference in this ball game, 3-1 Cubs. Beckham 3 for 7 with a homer and 2 RBIs on the spring.
In that home run that he hit, he was trying to get the runner over, and it happened to be a curveball, and he pulled it to left field. So Jeff Manto says he wants him more straight up to be able to handle that pitch inside. And seems to be doing it real well so far.
Fouls that one back. And on a somber note, with our young men and women of the military in mind, we want to take a moment and send our deepest condolences to the family of Corporal Connor Lowry of the United States Marine Corps. Corporal Lowry was killed in Afghanistan last week while serving his country. He's from the Beverly neighborhood on Chicago's south side as that ball hit hard off the foot. And he's going to beat it out. So Corporal Lowry from the Beverly neighborhood. He's a huge White Sox fan, and the thoughts and prayers of our White Sox organization go out to all his friends and family. To Corporal Connor Lowry.
Good hustle by Gordon Beckham as that ball caromed off the foot of Travis Wood and trickled to Barney, who tried to make a good play but couldn't get it over there in time.
Here's Diaza. Led off the bottom of the first with a bunt single, then on the throwing error by Travis Wood went in the second. And after the single by A.J., scored on the sacrifice fly, the long sacrifice fly by Rios. Outfield around to the left. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for them. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for us. Just a picture perfect day here in Arizona for baseball. Two and one to count to Diaza.
We pan around, we show you Nice crowd here today. A lot of people out on the lawn enjoying just bright sunshine, perfect temperatures, and hardly any wind.
Well, last year was absolutely without question in all the years I've been in this game, over a half a century, the greatest weather I've ever seen in spring training. Couldn't have been any better. It was like this every day. That's how to play left side.
Well, this year, every time they've predicted rain over the last 2.5 months, not even a drop. So it's been very dry, which obviously doesn't make a lot of people around here happy. However, it's pretty good for the baseball players and their preparation.
Breaking ball high, hung it up there. So a full count.
This will be interesting to see if Robin is going to run. That ball is up, even though Clevenger tried to ease it back into the zone.
There he goes. And that's ball 4. So the first walk issued by Travis Wood. Oh, we have a moment. White Sox hello to all our Sox fans out at the Golf Club of Scottsdale. Fairman, Hawley, all the guys. Fantastic golf course. Here's AJ. He just shot a single right by the third baseman, Edgar Gonzalez. Has the bunt. And it's foul.
I want to stay around long enough to get that one down because it's a straight sacrifice. With the infield playing him up the middle, the only man home on the left side is Gonzalez. You just want to push the ball right to him, and you're going to accomplish what you set out to do.
That'll get the job done. Nicely done by AJ. 1 out.
I think you're seeing a little bit about what both managers are going to do this year. Swaim for the Cubs and Robin for our ball club. When they have a chance to move runners over, they're going to. I think both of them will be a lot more aggressive than they were last year. The Cubs have been running very frequently early in the spring, even though they don't have a lot of speed. And I think Robin is comfortable with the fact that his boys in the middle can drive in some runs. He likes the 1-2 combination at the top in Diaz and Przinsky.
Checks it up, takes a strike. That's according to how much sabermetrics the Cubs get into.
Well, that's true. But they're not going to have a lot of power, and you can saber your metrics as much as you want to. If you can't hit the ball out of the park, you better run.
That's low. I saw that Moneyball.
Yeah.
Harrison, I watched it on the way out here. I tell you, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Brad Pitt could make Godzilla a good movie.
I think personally,
you know, that team that won the 20, they never mentioned Hudson, Zito, or Mulder one time.
Well, no, because it wasn't pitching that won it for him. So, I mean,
not one time.
If it was as easy as just getting good pitching, well, then it wouldn't have been that much of a movie.
That was amazing. It was a good movie, though.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Well, good fiction usually is, Hawk.
I know it. And that's exactly what it was. The 2-2. It's full with Paulie on deck.
I know Alex has been working out a great deal. I think he's going to be much stronger this year. He wanted to get Alexei Ramirez to work out with him. Eat like him, same type of nutritional balance that he has. Alexei was not that interested. I think he weighs within an ounce of what he came to the big leagues at, as far as Ramirez is concerned.
Yeah. I think Alexei's going to have a big year.
Well, he just keeps getting better and better, and if he starts to hit earlier in the season, which he started last year to do, the sky's the limit as far as what he can do. Because he's got a very quick bat.
Should have seen him on the mound the other day.
I did see him on the mound.
I wouldn't be afraid to stick him in there.
He looked better than a lot of guys thrown in the bullpen.
And that'll load him up.
Sox back, nobody out. Check that, 1 out. Sacrifice bunt by AJ.
And that's going to be it for Travis Wood. Apparently the control and the number of pitches as Dale Swaim comes out tells him that he appreciates the effort, if not the control, and he's going to go to the bullpen, and looks like it's going to be Randy Wells.
All right. Wood's gone, and we'll be back.
Here's a look at another of the contestants for the starting rotation derby, Randy Wells, who was 7-6. The ERA was up there last year, almost 5. Opponent's batting average at .269. That's a little higher than he would like. He's a sinker baller. Started out as a position player. Came up, did real well in his first year. Struggled a little bit after that, but still has a pretty good shot at winning a job in the starting rotation. He inherits the bases loaded and one of the best hitters in the league up, so this is not a great position to come into.
Randy, 29 years old, out of Belleville, Illinois. 6'5", 230 pounds. And here's Paulie. Flips the breaking ball, gets it over for strike 1.
When Wells is right, he's got a pretty good sinker.
Count evens. Paulie 0 for 1. Jammed himself, popped up to left field his first trip. Advantage Konerko, 2-1.
Arms in the outfield, just fair all the way around. Probably a little below average. Playing Paulie almost straight up.
There's There's a chopper right to the bag. This is going to be a pair.
Sox threaten. Hell, second, third. One out. Can't score.
It's the top of the fourth inning. We trail it 3-1. 2-run homer by Edgar Gonzalez in the second. And joining us in the booth right now is the Senior Vice President of Marketing for our Chicago White Sox, former captain of the Notre Dame basketball team. I'd like to have gotten you
playing tonight. Yeah, I tell you what, I'd have looked forward to that one.
Brooks Boyer.
I would have been excited.
Brooksy, what's up, buddy?
Oh, it's everything is going well. It's great to see White Sox baseball back and the renewal of the rivalry. We're looking forward to the BP Crosstown Cup this year when we hopefully hold that trophy for the third straight year.
What's going on with season ticket sales?
We are excited to really get into spring training, because that's when people start really paying attention to baseball, and our season ticket packages are available, and something that our fans, please get a hold of us, and we'll put the package together that works. We have packages that work for every budget and for everybody. So give us a call. Let's get out to the ballpark this summer.
First pitch strike from Jesse Crane, who is in relief of Chris Sale.
Let's take a look at some of those plans, Brooks, and you can explain them.
Sure. We've got our 81-game plan, our full game plan, along with options on 7-game, 14-game, as well as 27-game plans. We have options in...
One out.
We have options in our Gold Coast Ticket Club, as well as our United Scout seats. So please come on out, check us out, and it's always fun to go visit the Bertucci's in your group, and go see Bobby, Bruno, Nikki, and the team. To be able to,
they will take care of you out there.
They'll tell them. And I don't know if you knew this, Hawk, but it is Bobby's birthday today.
It is.
Bobby Bertucci, I think he's 71 today.
No, Steve said he's 73.
I thought it was 73.
Yeah, probably, you know what? We got to check his birth certificate.
Well, you'll be the third.
You got to find one first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Everybody in the neighborhood never thought he'd go this far, so we're proud of him. But the patio is a great way to bring your team out to the ballpark. Grab something to eat before the game and enjoy the seats in the outfield. And all this information is available at whitesox.com, whether it's a season plan, a group plan, some of our premium seating options. It's a great way to host a large group of people, or if you're just going with family and friends.
Mather with a big rip right there just underneath it. He popped up to Alexei his first trip. Well, how about the new team store?
Yeah, we're really excited for our fans to be able to get into Chicago Sports Depot, and you can look at Chicago Sports Depot at chicagosportsdepot.com as well. It's going to have the best selection of White Sox items, and then if you're a Bulls and Blackhawks fan, as those two teams get ready for the playoffs, if you're looking for your jersey, your T-shirt, sweatshirt, hat, whatever it might be, those two teams are well represented there, as well as the Bears, the Cubs, the Fire, and a lot of colleges. So as fans come to the ballpark, spend a little extra time to check out Chicago Sports Depot. It's a pretty unique place for the Chicago sports fan.
One thing to bear in mind, early this year, Boston comes to town for 4 games. That's in April, and that's really a premier matchup. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
it's a great
and
weekend.
Sunday, the last weekend in April.
And that's when we start our fireworks nights as well. So, you know, we've really tried to upgrade our promotional schedule to have more offerings to our fans. And you know, look, the opening series alone, when you think about a team that we're going to be competing with over the course of the year, the Tigers come in right away, and we have a kids' day of the first series. So, you know, fans, come on out to the ballpark. Check out WhiteSox.com. It has all of our offers and all the different things, ways that you can be involved with the club this year.
Tigers been on a roll down there in Florida. They have really been playing some baseball coming into today 6-0. As there's a base hit. So Clevenger, strikeout victim his first trip. 1 out, 2 on.
Good news is they can't carry those wins over the regular season.
That's exactly right. Well, you know, the thing about it is that Steve, myself, everybody connected with the White Sox are just glad. But you hate to see a good talent like a Carlos Martinez get out for a season, so to speak.
Or Victor Martinez.
Excuse me, Victor. But he killed us more than anybody.
He did. Hey, you know, back to, obviously to his Cleveland days, and you know he's a special, unique player. But you know that's what you go through. That's why you play the 162 games. If the playoffs were to start today, nobody puts us in it. But you play the 162, and I think that's what everyone's excited to get these guys back to our home field and you know see what they can do.
Junior Lake. He walked and scored back in the second. That walk coming with 2 out, nobody on, and then the home run by Gonzalez. But we've still got our each and every year staples. We got the Dog Day, Elvis Day, and all that going, right?
We've got all sorts of fun. Our promotional schedule, we had a lot of great giveaways this year. There's a kids chest protector. We brought back that day. We're going to have, like you said, the staples of our fireworks, our kids days, our value Mondays. Our tickets are uniquely priced this year with dynamic ticket pricing. A lot of our games, the ticket prices are below what would be our regular standard pricing. So the best way to get tickets, you're going to be able to get tickets at the best prices early in the season. So I encourage fans when you're out there looking for that ticket price, the best place to go first is WhiteSox.com, and you'll be able to see the different prices and the different options that are available there.
What about your Irish?
Hey, survive and advance. Last night was ugly. But they are in the Final Four of the Big East tournament. I think Mike Bray has done an amazing job with this team, and the team has certainly bought into the team concept, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. Amazing job that those guys have been able to do this year.
Should be. Rack them up. Ham and jam, and that'll retire the side. Brooks, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. Go White Sox.
We'll be following the Irish for you.
Vote aye.
And a reminder, looking for a flexible ticket plan for the 2012 season. Well, the White Sox Pick 7 and Pick 14 plans let you select the games you want, including great matchups like the BP Crosstown Cup Classic. And plans start at just $89. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Adam hit the ball pretty well the first time, now facing a right-hander in his second at bat.
If you're just tuning in, there's a left-hander out there, Travis Wood. He went out deep to left. Took Mather back on the morning track. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth.
We'd like to remind you of the HomeTeamCharity.org run. It's a run in April. It benefits Bulls, Hawks, and Sox charities. And you can choose your racing jersey depending on which team you want to support. It's again in April, and it finishes at U.S. Cellular Field. So you can get to it, HomeTeamCharity.org.
Alexei. Nice play by Lake. Very quickly, 2 out.
Randy Wells doing what he does best when he's at his best, and that's keeping the ball on the ground. Good effort by Junior Lake. Not given much of a shot this year to make the ball club, but he's got some skills. And he's shown a very strong arm at short.
Viciedo takes ball 1. Bank struck out swinging on a fastball.
This matchup should be more to his liking because Wells likes to keep the ball down. Viciedo loves to hit the ball down. And Wood struck him out on a fastball up and out of the zone in the second inning.
Hung a breaking ball, is hammered. So that'll be a single.
It's nice to see my pick to click actually getting a hit sometime before the second month of the season.
I tell you, we're going to amend the rules this week. We're going to call them
give me the field.
Steve Stone rules.
You guys pick, I get the field.
We pick, and then you get the rest. You get 7.
It still wouldn't help most of the time.
Here's Brent. He grounded out hard, right up the middle, but Darwin Barney was playing him perfectly. Turn that one over. Count evens at 1.
Yesterday, one of the fine young prospects in the Sox organization, Brandon Short, was hurt. Separated shoulder and a torn labrum. He's out for the entire season of 2012.
Yeah, Brandon's put some pretty good numbers up.
A couple of years ago, he led the league in Double-A, I believe, hitting .316. But unfortunately, his season curtailed this year. And that's a shame, because that's the one thing you really have to avoid in the spring is getting hurt, especially hurt that badly.
Inside out, that one into center field. Bird is there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 5th, trailing 3-1.
to you by Subway. Get a different regular 6-inch fresh value meal every day of the week for $5. Subway. Eat fresh. There's a look at Matt Thornton, who comes into the game. Last year, he was anointed the closer early. He had a tough time of it, then went back, had trouble adjusting to his normal setup role before closing very strong. And this year, he will be in the running as the closer job is up for grabs. And, Hawk, what do you see out of that closer job? Because Sergio Santos is now a Toronto Blue Jay.
Addison Reed's going to be a big factor in that decision. If that does not work out this spring, then, of course, you've got Crane and Thornton. But I like Matt Thornton in what he was doing. You know, he was the best in baseball. Because there's a one-pitch soft topper. And I didn't particularly agree with that last year, but didn't have any other choice.
No, I mean, they gave him the opportunity. It just didn't work out well for him.
The thing is, Addison's working on a changeup right now. You got to have something, as you know, Steve, being a former Cy Young Award player, that he's got to get on. He's got to have a pitch to get those left-handers off his fastball.
Yeah. Especially when you throw from the angle he throws at. He throws hard. Got a great arm. Meteoric rise through the system.
I think he can do it. I mean, I talked with Bobby Thigpen. I think he just absolutely loves it as far as the makeup goes. And you know yourself, that makeup is everything in that moment.
Well, Bobby knows about the makeup for a closer. And I had a chance to talk with him today. He's pretty impressed with a number of the youngsters, Addison being one of them. Another, he mentioned Hector Santiago.
I love him. Screwball.
Yeah, the screwball has been the pitch for him as he's refined it, and that's a guy that had a pretty good chance of making the ball club this year.
Well, the funny thing about it, he came up with us and was just awesome, just outstanding, and then went back and got hit hard.
No. Well,
no, that screwball he's got, he's got a nice mound presence about him. He comes right at the hitters. He's got a chance.
there's looking down Cooper.
Hector's just 24 years old.
Don's got some pretty good young arms. A few of them acquired via the trade route. And some youngsters coming up out of the system.
Nestor Molina has got a good arm. He gave up 5 runs in an inning in the third, and Coop thought that was just a lot of nervous energy out there. Caused him to lose control of his fastball.
Well, Molina's been rated anywhere from 2 to 5 as far as prospects in the Sox organization. He's got a great arm.
Darwin Barney, 1 for 2, that RBI single in the first. He is now 5 for 10 on the spring with 5 RBIs. Nice easy inning right here for Matt Thornton. 1, 2, 3. We're halfway home. We need 2 to tie.
presented by authority of the Chicago White Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox.
And you can join the White Sox for their home opener on Friday, April 13th against the Detroit Tigers at 1:10. All fans will receive a 2012 White Sox magnetic schedule presented by U.S. Cellular, the exclusive wireless provider of the Chicago White Sox. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Defensive change. Adrian Cardenas comes in the game defensively at third base.
First ball hunting is Gordon Beckham. Into left field. One pitch, one out. Gordon now 1 for 2. That'll bring our leadoff hitter, Alejandro Diaz. Takes the bunt, takes the strike.
The more that he shows bunt, and he did bunt his way out in the first inning, but the more he shows that, the more the corners have to play in, the worse the angles are when he swings away. So it's a pretty good idea to let all of these scouts who are watching all these games just put in their scouting reports that will bunt on any count, will bunt in any situation.
Another thing our club is going to have this year, I'm talking with Robin about it, we're going to have guys hitting 3-0 in the right spots with the right guy.
Well, you've got enough power in this lineup to be able to do that.
Well, it's just senseless not to have a 3-0 offense when every other team in baseball has one.
And there's still a lot of pitchers that give you less than their best 3-0 trying to get it over. And that might be the best pitch you see in the entire at-bat.
Especially when you're talking about studs out there on that mound. Well, when you're talking about Verlanders and Sabathias and some of the pitching staffs we're going to face this year, in certain situations, when you get the right guy at the plate and you get 3-0, turn him loose.
How about those guys from both Texas and the Angels as far as pitching staffs are concerned?
As I said, some of those staffs we're going to face.
Some pretty good ones. Hugh Darvish has come over and lit things up for the Rangers.
Check swing, and he did. Alan Porter behind the plate. Alan Porter's a good umpire.
That was a good day behind the plate because you don't see anybody arguing about anything. That's a changeup.
See, he did go. His body took him all the way around. But every time we've had Alan Porter, we had him behind the plate, I think, last year at least.
A couple times.
Twice.
Yep.
At least twice. Maybe 3 times. He's done a heck of a job. He's done a heck of a job on the base paths.
Spring training for the umpires also. They've got to get used to it.
AJ, a hard single to left and a beautiful sacrifice bunt. Another guy I think is going to have a big year.
Well, I think he's going to like the number 2 spot in the batting order.
Backhand by Lake. 2 down. Check that. 1-2-3 inning. And we'll go to the
Let's take a look at our fourth drive of the game, and it came back in the second inning off the bat of Edgar Gonzalez. Put the Cubs ahead 3-1. That's where it stands, a towering drive to left field. That's the difference in the ball game. Ford manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. You can check them out on your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Nate Jones comes in the game, and he's another man that Bobby Thigpen said was most impressive. He loved his arm. There you look at the numbers. More strikeouts in innings pitched usually is an indication of excellent stuff. And the question will be for Nate, just like most every other young pitcher, can he consistently get the ball over the plate?
Well, Nate's 25, take that, 26 years old, out of Butler, Kentucky. 6'5", 185 pounds. Jeff Baker. First ball hunting into right field. One pitch, one out. Baker now struck out, grounded to short, and fly to right.
Last year's trade deadline, Jim Henry mentioned that Jeff Baker was an untouchable. Could not be traded. And he went on to hit 197 after that. But they felt that with Ramirez not coming back, and he's now with the Milwaukee Brewers, that Baker did give them a little insurance at third base.
Here's Brian LaHare. He's grounded to first and struck out.
That's a good hard slider low and in. Alejandro Diaz's day is done. Jordan Danks takes over in center field, and watch that breaking ball low and in.
He gone. Breaking ball, back door. 2 down. And a reminder, tickets for White Sox home games are on sale right now. Tickets start at just $7 per seat, and the 2000 schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, and games featuring post-game fireworks. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com. Marlon Byrd. A little low, a little outside.
That apparently is a real beard. Apparently ZZ Top is in town.
The ball hit high and deep. Downs looks up, and it's a 4-1 ball game.
Second Cub home run of the day, and Bird got all of that one. A fastball right down the middle. Just above belt high and long gone.
Here's Joe Mather. He's 0 for 1 with the base on balls. Takes that fastball strike. 4-5-1 for the Cubs, 1-4-0 for our Sox. Here in the top of the 6th inning. Backs up. Right over the top. And that'll do it. The home run by Bird. We trail by 3.
This is Lois. The day
about purchasing a block of 20 more tickets or upgrade to a patio party, Diamond Suite or one of our other great party areas. Group outings are still available for the BP Crosstown Cup Series against the Cubs at US Cellular Field. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Lopez has taken over. Rodrigo Lopez, who last year was 6-6, the ERA 4.5. Actually did a decent job last year for a less than stellar Cub team. He had 16 starts, and he's got a brand new defense behind him that we'll get to in a moment.
First pitch strike to Rios. Alex has a long sacrifice fly in the first inning, and he walked in the third. And that is foul. The Tigers' 6-game winning streak has come to an end. They were leading 4-0 against the Phillies. Phillies came back and beat them 7-5.
I figured they had to lose eventually.
Softly hit.
In the outfield, it's Sapelt in left, Campana in center, and Jackson in right. Jackson, one of their premier prospects, and a guy that a lot of people feel that they will see sometime during this season at Wrigley Field.
Here's Paulie. Paulie 0 for 2. So good job by Randy Wells. 2 2/3. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 strikeout. Paulie takes ball 1, and a big White Sox shout out to Lorraine Poplawski, Palos Heights, big Sox fan, looking in today with love from her daughter.
I'd like to send along best wishes to an old pal of ours, Moose Scourin, looking on, recuperating, and Moose, looking forward to seeing you out at the old ball yard.
Better believe it.
So get healthy and get ready. Bring me a sack full of those Mickey Mantle baseballs, Moose.
He's got enough filled.
And he gets new ones. Well, the few guys that gets new ones.
The Moose Meister. What a guy. Count evens at 2.
Attention media, Cubs starter Travis Wood is now available in the Cubs clubhouse.
Outfield straight up, spread out for Paul. Breaking ball.
Here's a look at former #1 draft pick Josh Vitters, who was a third baseman and considered by many one of the best hitters in the country when he was drafted out of high school. Now they're trying to find a spot for him. He's still young enough and still has a lively enough bat if they can find that spot.
Breaking ball, strike to Adam. 1-2 the count. Adam has gone out deep to left, and he is grounded to second. And that ball hit deep in the left field. Stretch. Pitch. Nope, right up against the fence. I think twice this game he has gone back on the warning track. Meanwhile, the 1-2 swinging. We're into the 7th. 4-1 Cubs.
This is
U.S. Cellular Field Saturday, April 14th against the Tigers at 3:10 p.m. First 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox knit bomber hat. Purchase your tickets today. Visit whitesox.com. Pitches inside to Clevenger.
Kosuke Fukudome takes over in right field. And we've got Dan Johnson at first base. So both teams starting to unload their bench, get some of their players at bat or two, and get them a little time in the field.
4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for our Sox. That ball hit hard into right center and deep. It is 5-1.
Third home run of the day for the Cubs. And all 3 of the Cub players have hit their first of the spring. That fastball was down, inner portion of the plate, and gone.
Nothing in 1.
It's Bobby Scales who comes on to pinch hit for Junior Lake.
Breaking ball misses. 1-1 to count to Scales. Ellison, our director, Skip Ellison, or Phil Moore, as we mostly call him, already taught Bobby Scales in the 4th grade in Atlanta. I don't know why she couldn't do something with Phil Moore. Man.
He's just coming into his own.
2-2 the count to Scales. Adrian Cardenas, the on-deck hitter. Payoff pitch. Close, didn't get it. And here comes Robin.
Third baseman number 45, Adrian Cardenas.
Robin wants to make a change. He wants the left-hander. So Nate Jones will depart. And we'll be back. MLB.TV Premium today and get over 150 select spring training games with no blackouts and every regular season game live or on demand on your favorite devices. So visit WhiteSox.com for details.
Donnie Veal comes into the game. At one point, Veal was a very highly thought of prospect with the Cubs. Had a big year at Peoria, then lost suddenly his control. There you look at the numbers last year in the minor leagues. Trying to find it once again and getting an opportunity here today as he becomes the 5th White Sox pitcher of the day and inherits a man at first, 1 out.
Donnie's 27 years old, 6'4", 240 pounds. Born in Jackson, Mississippi, now resides in Gilbert, Arizona. So here's Cardenas. Little tardy right there. Outfield about equidistance, swung around to the left. Viciedo fairly short and left. And again, a little tardy. Of course, Diane Viciedo's the tank, moving this year from right to left. And usually, as a rule, when you use a young guy like that, moving him around a little bit,
Normally came up as a third baseman. They tried him at first. Worked him out at first, I should say. When he goes to the outfield and he moves, he's better off playing a little deep than a little shallow. And matter of fact, a good example might be that ball that Soriano hit on the first pitch of the ball game for that double. If he was a little deeper, he may have made that play. A lot easier to come in and just go back until you get your confidence. Breaking ball hangs high and in.
Well, the type of bat that he possesses will find you a spot somewhere in the lineup. And this year, it just happens to be left field.
Well, last year he did a heck of a nice job out there and right.
Yeah,
he certainly can keep guys from going from first to third. Got a decent pitch to hit right there and fouls it away. So the count hangs at 1-2.
Come on, Johnny.
He gone. Gas.
He set him up with a slider and then put him away with a fastball. See, Blank wants it away. Veal gets it right there.
Here's Castillo. That's high and wide.
Castillo, another one of those guys that's vying for the backup catcher role.
He's just 24 years old, Wellington, out of the Dominican. Last year at Iowa, hit 286, 15 homers. So he's got a little pop. And the other guy, Clevenger, was 2 for 3 today. Sharp single and then a home run leading off this inning. There he goes. And that's into center field. Michael Blank.
Got a very good jump, but this throw is nowhere near the bag. Nice job by Jordan Danks of coming in, making sure that there was no advance by Scales.
Jordan is acknowledged to be the best outfielder in our organization. That's up high. 2-1. And it goes to 3-1. Just tuning in. Cubs 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the sixth, 1 so far here in the seventh. There's a broken bat flare. It's going to fall. They're going to hold now the runner at third. So 1 out, runners at the corners.
Get your way. Come on, ground ball.
Yamazaga. Alfredo Yamazaga. And that's low.
Well, it doesn't always work this way, but for the most part, when your number is 99, your odds of making the ball club aren't good.
We used to have 143A, 237C. Dodgers, they went all the way down to PQ and R and S. 10,327.
That's when they had 24, 26 farm clubs.
Yeah, they had over 30 there for a long time.
Jeez.
This guy's got a good arm.
There's no doubt. Control has usually been his problem. It wasn't early in his career, and then who knows why it happens, but it just seems to.
And for the most part, most of the time, it's left-handed. All right. No, nice pick by Gordon on the bad hump. And they turn it over. Nice twin killing. That Alexei. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We got a problem.
Let's take a look at the White Sox Miller Lite schedule for the first 3 series of the 2012 season. It starts off at Texas, April 6th through the 8th. Then it's on to Cleveland, the 9th through the 11th. Before coming home to entertain the Tigers at U.S. Cellular Field, April 13th through the 15th. Miller Lite aluminum pint, 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste.
It's the bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-1 Cub lead. Alexei will lead it off. Twice he has grounded out to his counterpart. That's short. Breaking ball. First pitch, Honey. And 1 out. In a reminder, you can join the 2012 Sox Prime Club and get guaranteed Prime tickets with an ultimate membership. Plus, all members receive ticket opportunities for every game, game day audio, and other exclusive perks all season long. Visit whitesox.primeclub.com. First pitch strike to Viciado. Tank is 1 for 2. One and one to count. Breaking ball tried to come back, didn't make it. Oh, he got a good pitch to hit right there. Just a roller. And that's out number 2. And I want to say hello to some great people at Athena Restaurant here in Scottsdale on Mayo Boulevard. Petros and Johnny. Big White Sox fans. And great food. Wow. Awesome. Oh and 1 the count as Gordon pops it up. And that didn't take long. Rodriguez 6 up, 6 down for him.
Take a look at Nestor Molina, the hard-throwing right-hander who last year had a spectacular year in the minor leagues. 137 strikeouts in 130 innings. Opponents hitting just 224. And the White Sox really love his ability.
And at third base, Brent Lillibridge, who has worked himself into a situation to where he is one of the best all-purpose players in the big leagues.
They haven't found a spot yet that he can't play.
He's just amazing. I mean, it really is.
I thought it was a remarkable year last year, playing everywhere, hitting everything that he saw, and hitting a lot of home runs, especially for time at bat.
Well, when you put him
100-mile-an-hour fastball out there. The best hitter we get on our club is Paulie. And the second best might be Brent Lillibridge.
Our first look at Brett Jackson getting his first AB.
And that pitch up high from Nestor. As we mentioned, his first outing gave up 5 runs in an inning and a third and was all over the place control wise. But Coop said just the jitters, first time starter jitters.
But when you take a look at the numbers, last year he walked 16 guys in 130 innings.
So his walk to strikeout ratio has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here's Vitters. LaHare was 0 for 3 today. Here's first pitch strike. Ate him up inside. Five runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for our Sox. That 1 run coming in the first inning.
Come on.
2-2. We have 5 more games coming your way from spring training. The next one will be on the 23rd. And all 5 of those will be over Comcast Sportsnet. There's a 2-hopper, Lillibridge, right over the top. 2 down.
Good thing about that is by the time we come to you again, it's going to be very close to the regular season. And you'll have a lot of questions answered. There'll still be a couple of spots open, but you'll get a little clearer picture of what this team is going to look like heading up north.
Here's Campana. Good breaking ball. And there's another strike. Good movement. Molina, just 23 years old, out of Valencia. And that'll do it. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the young right-hander. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th, 5-1 Cubs.
Here's today's Miller Lite play of the game, and it came with Donnie Veal on the mound in a jam. Good play by Gordon Beckham. It goes as a 4-6-3 double play. Gets the Sox out of the inning and Veal out of the jam. It's a Miller Lite aluminum pint. 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. And Dae-Un Reed comes in the game trying to protect a 4-run lead. Cubs have out-hit the Sox 7-4. Cubs have made the only error of the game, but 3 home runs have been the difference in this one.
Gordon Beckham will lead it off here in the bottom of the 8th. Jordan Danks on deck. Want to know the count to Gordon. Gordon is singled, and he's popped up to left field. Gordon on the spring now 4 for 9 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And I want to give a big shout out to Sully, Gwen, and Grace. Gordon's mom and 2 sisters know they're watching in today. Your guy has been having a good spring. Three and 1. That ball hit hard. Stay fair. It hooks foul. So a full count to Beckham. Gordon with a tough season last year. But had a long talk with his dad and has a little different attitude this spring. Having a lot more fun. Made a good pitch on him right there. That's what you call a B pitch. In 3-2.
You didn't have much fun on that one.
No, only thing you can do right there is tip your cap. When a guy makes a pitch like that on your 3-2.
And Reed threw it in the perfect spot. Gordon, realizing he had to defend, actually swung when that ball was by him, but you're not going to do anything with that one anyway.
So here's Jordan. Jordan 2 for 7 on the spring with a double. Pulled a string on him right there, and the count 0-2. Good-looking young player. Another changeup. He's got a big motion with that pitch.
He's got deceptive delivery because you look at his stuff, velocity-wise, not overpowering, and yet when it comes at you, it seems to just disappear. So he takes a little something off, has Jordan well out in front of it. Good wipeout pitch, good straight change.
So here's a 23-year-old Michael Blank. Michael, big guy, 6'4", 230, out of Melbourne, Florida. Fastball up and in. We've got some pretty good-looking catching prospects in this organization. There's a good curveball. Gosh Fegley. Blank. Kyla Flowers. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 8th. We trail it 5-1. All he did was strike out the side, and we're into the 9th. It's the top of the 9th inning and a 5-1 Cub lead. Dave Chappelle hits it softly up the middle. And Ozzie Martinez, who just went in for Beckham, will not be able to play, so that'll be a base hit.
The catcher, number 37, Micah Gibbs.
5 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors for our Sox. First pitch strike. And as usual in spring training, you have these. This is number 37. Just off the corner.
Well, we know he hits left-handed.
Goes to second. Nestor covering it first. Ball gets away.
Toughest double play there is. 3-6-1 because pitcher has to go over. He's got to cover. Molina did a nice job of getting there, but now you got to locate the ball and the bag at the same time, and they get the lead man. Hector Jimenez behind the plate.
Robbie Scales will be the hitter. He walked and picked up a stolen base back in the 7th. Outfield around to the left, gap out there in right center. Cubs, if you're just tuning in, got a quick run in the first. Sox came right back to tie it. Then a 2-run homer in the second by Edgar Gonzalez. And solo shots by Marlon Byrd and Steve Clevenger. It's a 5-1 lead. One and one to count.
What do you think, Hawk, the biggest challenge for Robin in this his first year of management?
Well, usually as a rule, the biggest challenge is for a guy to be himself. That's what the biggest challenge is. With Robin, I don't think that's going to be a problem. You know, people talk about guys like Robin and Mike Matheny of the Cardinals. As there goes the runner, fouled away. These were two cerebral players. And not all players are cerebral. And these were two guys that you knew if they wanted to would be a good manager. If in fact I never thought Robin would manage. I really didn't. He made a lot of money in this game. And the only reason I think he took the job was because of Jerry Reinsdorf. I think they wanted him to manage this ball club, and for Jerry, he would do it. And Robin, they say no experience. That's BS. Robin never played a game that he didn't manage. He had 16 years of managerial experience. He was like having a second manager out to the field, as was like Ozzie. Ozzie never played a game he didn't manage. So that lack of experience, Ozzie, in his first year in 04, if we don't lose Frank Thomas and Mags Ordonez, we probably win everything that year. Then in his second year, he wins everything. And there's no question in my mind that he won't do an outstanding job down in Florida.
He's presented with a pretty good ball club down in Florida.
And he'll do a good job down there.
There's no doubt.
But Robin is not going to have any problems as far, you know, X's and O's in football are important. X's and O's in basketball are pretty important. X's and O's in baseball really don't mean much.
No, I think most managers got a pretty good idea about when to bunt or hit and run, depending on the personnel you have. It's the handling of people. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, there are people watching this ball game tonight that can run a ball game. You talk about X's and O's as good as half the managers, more than half the managers in baseball. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. It's a 5-1 deficit. It's the bottom of the ninth inning, and we need 4 to tie, and a pitching change for the Cubs.
Lindy Castillo. We have seen Wellington Castillo. He catches. Now we see Lindy Castillo. He's on the hill trying to wrap it up. As the Cubs behind 3 home runs, have a 4-run lead.
But, you know, getting back to Robin is in managing in baseball, as I said, the fan today This is my 38th year broadcasting. I've been in game 53, my 53rd year in the game. The fan today is so much more sophisticated. They know how a ball game should be run. They know. Now, they don't have the feeling of the players because they're not in the dugout. But they know as far as X's and O's go. But as you mentioned, it's handling people. They're no more motivators.
No. If a guy can't get motivated by just putting on a major league uniform, then you're not going to motivate him.
And then when you get guys making $1 million a month or more,
yeah,
and you say something they don't like or they don't buy into, they're not going to listen to you. So it all boils down to one thing: getting what a guy has in him out of him. And it's tougher to manage today, in my opinion, than it's ever been, certainly in the last half century. Kosuke Fukudome making his plate appearance. And he's got a 2-0 count.
Well, the one thing he very rarely does is swing at pitches out of the zone. So on base percentage is something that he does pretty well.
You know, Kosuke, when he was with the Cubs, really didn't do that much against us. But then last year when he went to Cleveland, that last series we played him, he wore us out.
Yes, he did. Usually had pretty decent early seasons and then tailed off as the season went along, but that was not the case last year.
That's out number one.
First baseman number 29, Dan Johnson.
And here's Dan Johnson. He had a rather large home run for the D-Rays, for the Tampa Bay Rays last season.
Yes, he did.
I'll tell you, for the Rays to have gotten the playoffs last year, that's got to be one of the greatest managing jobs ever.
They got a great staff. They have a terrific front office, especially when you consider that they've got some guys in that front office that came over, didn't have a whole lot of baseball experience, but they find themselves with a lot of talent, and they've made some just great moves.
And they've got as good a manager as there is in this game.
And Joe's terrific.
Bar none.
Davey Martinez, his bench coach, is great.
Davey's going to make a good one, too.
Well, if you talk about managers who like to keep things loose, that's Joe Madden. He has his theme road trips, which are pretty interesting.
2 down. He is so, I mean, I've seen, as I said, in the last 50 years, I've seen most of the managers. He's as good as anybody in the last 50 years.
Well, he paid his dues. He learned his lessons very well. He certainly helped Mike Scioscia as his bench coach in the Angel organization. Helped make Scioscia as good a manager as he's been. Joe finally got his opportunity, and well, he's more than made the most of it.
Off the fist, and this ball game is over. So the Sox tied up after 1. Cubs with 2 in the second, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. They win it 5-1 now. We'll be back.